If you've been finding FM24 too easy so far, or you're just after a new save idea to challenge yourself, then this video is for you, because I'm going to give you 5 of the hardest save ideas that you can attempt in FM24. That's right, today we'll be giving you 5 challenges that you can attempt in-game, and I really think these are going to test your mettle in Football Manager. We've got everything from saves in the English divisions, which might be a little bit more comfortable for some of you, to saves in some of the worst divisions in world football. Before we get into it though, if you could go ahead and subscribe as we push 175,000 subscribers, it would really mean a lot, and I'm sure you wouldn't regret it, as we have daily Football Manager content here on the channel. Don't forget to smash the like button as well if you enjoyed this video. If you find it useful, it really will help us in the YouTube algorithm. And finally, comment down below what your hardest save is that you've done so far in Football Manager. Hopefully we can get a good portion of them in the comments, and maybe make a part 2 to this video with your guys' suggestions. And for the first save, we're not going to start off easy. We are going to be managing in one of the worst divisions possible in FM, and that is Gibraltar, who according to the UEFA coefficients list, only San Marino are worse than them, and they don't have a playable league in the base game of Football Manager, not without any kind of mod packs anyway, whereas Gibraltar is a new league available in FM24 that you can manage in. Now, there's a bunch of reasons this save could be fun. One, you want to take a team from Gibraltar all the way to the top, winning a Champions League. It's going to be very hard, but along the way you'll be building up the nation, producing some better youngsters, and hopefully over time you'll be taking the nation of Gibraltar right to the very top, which is not going to be easy by any stretch. It's going to take a very long time, but the save would be even harder if you start with any Gibraltar side other than Lincoln Red Imps. And the reason I say that is if we go to the history of the Gibraltar division, you will see Lincoln Red Imps have won it on every occasion in the new millennium other than 3, won by a team that no longer exists. You'll also see Newcastle United FC, that's because that was Lincoln Red Imps' former name. College Europa have won it in 2016 and 2019, but other than that, it has always been the Red Imps. So if you were to manage a team in this league that was predicted to come bottom, say Glasses United here, 600 to 1 to win the league, take over them and try and take them to the very top. That's about as tough of a challenge as you could get. Firstly, it might take you 3 or 4, 5, 6 years to actually get to the top of the Gibraltar divisions, and then you've got to try and upgrade the nation and get them to a point where they can actually compete in, say, the Conference League, and then you've got to go to the Europa League and then get a Champions League winning side. It'll be near enough impossible, but if you're after a tough save that's going to take a long time, then this could be the one for you. Perhaps the most interesting save though is one that I spoke about previously in FM23, because I absolutely love this. It's to manage FC Vaduz, who are a team playing in the Swiss 2nd division, but actually they're a team from Liechtenstein that have been allowed to play in the Swiss divisions. But the challenge with this team will be to win the Champions League, which might sound pretty generic. Obviously you want to go for the top title in Europe, but there is a twist with this club, and that is that even if you got out of the 2nd division, even if you won the top division, you would not be granted qualification for a European competition. The only way you can be granted qualification for any kind of European competition is to win the cup that they've won the most, which is the FL1 Active Cup, which is basically the equivalent of the Liechtenstein Cup. Basically, the few teams from Liechtenstein will play each other, and the top team will be granted access to the Europa Conference League. It's the only way Vaduz can get into Europe, by winning this competition, but as you can see, they win it pretty much every year, so that's a fairly comfortable thing to do. Once you win that cup, which you will pretty much every season, you'll qualify for the Europa Conference League. Remember, you cannot qualify for European competition through the Swiss league itself, so what you need to do to win the Champions League is to win the Conference League. That will give you qualification to the Europa League, and then back to back, you then need to win the Europa League to get you qualification for the Champions League, and then to win that. You could get all the way to the Champions League final, lose it, and next season you'll be starting all the way back in the Conference League again, having to work your way back up. It's going to be super tough, very hard to do, but it could be a very fun challenge. So FC Vaduz out in Switzerland in the 2nd division, technically a Liechtenstein team, worth giving a go if you're after maybe one of the hardest challenges you'll ever try in FM. Something a little bit closer to home for most of you guys, I would imagine, is playing in the English divisions, or at least in the top 5 European nations. So how about taking over the worst possible team in those English divisions, which is Dover Athletic in the Vanarama National League South, 350 to 1 odds to win the title, predicted rock bottom. To make it clear how bad they are compared to everyone else, 23rd place have 50 to 1 odds to win the league, whereas we have 350 to 1, so we're very far away from anyone else in the division. You want to win the Premier League with Dover Athletic. It's going to take ages, it might might not be the hardest challenge compared to some of the others, but it will take a lot of time. Currently in real life as well, they are sitting rock bottom of the Vanarama National League South at the time of recording. So it really will be a tough challenge. It's going to take 10, 15 years within Football Manager to do, but it will definitely be very rewarding, taking a team from the lowest possible division, from the base game of FM in the English divisions, and working the way all the way to the top. No other league in Football Manager is covered as detailed as the English divisions, going all the way down. But if you do it, you might just go down as one of the best managers in English football history. If you're after some more torture though, then head over to the Turkish divisions and give a go at managing Burasspor KD. Now you might recognise their badge, you might recognise the team name, even though I've probably butchered the pronunciation of it, but they are a very fun save because despite being one of a few teams outside of Istanbul that have won the Turkish top division title, that was back in 2010, they now find themselves in the third division of Turkish football under a transfer embargo, I believe, and very strict financial conditions, with a team pretty much made up of local youngsters. I watched a few videos out there for research before making this, and I found someone suggesting this in the comments. I checked out on the internet how Bursaspor were doing this season, and they are, as you expect, pretty much rock bottom of that third division. The game seems to think we'll be safe from relegation though, with a 15th place suggested finish, but this is nowhere near where this team should be considering how good they've done in the past. So your job will be to drag them into the top division of Turkish football again, despite all the financial difficulties you might be under, and try and take this team to Super League glory once more. With a 42,000 capacity stadium, you're going to have a lot of fans on your side as you try and drag this team back to glory, and it really would make for a fun save. But the final save idea is one that you might have heard talked about often in the FM world. It's one of the famous hardest saves that you can do. It is the Pentagon challenge, which might not be as difficult as some of the others, but definitely could take just as much time. The reason for this is you are going to start unemployed as a manager and take whatever the first job is that you can actually get, and you're going to try and win the Champions League equivalent in every single continent. We've got the Asian Champions League, the Copa Libertadores out in the South American divisions, plenty to keep you occupied, and as hard as it's going to be to win these competitions, you've also got to plan ahead in a strategic way of how you're going to get these jobs. Maybe you start off in the African divisions and then make your way over to Oceania, and then maybe you end up in South America after that, and then North America, and then ideally I imagine your last stop in the tour will be a European club, which might be one of the hardest ones to come by. Or maybe you start off in the worst division in England, work your way to the Premier League, take that club to the Champions League, then you'll have a great reputation and maybe could surprise everyone by taking jobs in leagues where maybe they wouldn't have expected you to. It would be something that would take a lot of effort, and you'll start finding clubs out there that you never would have heard of that suddenly you'll have a huge affinity to. Because starting unemployed with no coaching badges, it's going to be very hard to get any kind of recognisable job. So it's definitely a fun idea if you want to try it, and a hard save to do in FM24. There's 5 ideas for you there. Hopefully you have enjoyed this video. If you have, smash the like button and come check out my channel if you want to as well, linked in the description down below, as we try and rebuild some of the clubs that we've mentioned here. Spoiler alert, we might be doing one with Dover very soon, taking the worst team from England to the top of the Premier League. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.